we have some thoughts and feelings. Kim here, welcome back to my channel. These are my thoughts and feelings on the first section of Caraval. If you are recently joining our read-along, I will leave a link up here for all of the information on what's going on with our It's Only a Read-Along of Caraval. If you're late to the party, read with us anyway, because we've only done the first little section of the book. We've only done chapters 1 through 12, so it's not too late to join in the fun. We are throwing organization out the window and we are just gonna yak about this book. Make sure you're checking out Adriane's videos as well. I'll leave a link for her channel right up here. She's really great and she's really cool and she's co-hosting this thing with me and she's fantastic. So make sure that you're kind of checking out both of our videos. Make sure you've also entered the giveaway. Linky links will be down there for that so that so you can win a copy of The Night Circus. That giveaway closes on the 19th, so make sure you guys are entering for that. All the rules and everything are down there. Okay, let's begin, shall we? So this is going to cover chapters 1 through 12. The 14th, we will be posting our second discussion videos on chapters 13 through 26. Quick summary of chapters 1 through 12. Scarlet and her younger sister Donatella live on an island in which their father is the governor, and he is mean and strict and generally a terrible human being. Scarlet, her entire life, has held on to the story from her nana, her grandmother, about Caraval and its magical wonder and legend, the Caraval Master, is that what he's called? But she's been writing letters for about 7 years, I think it's 7 years. She writes letters asking for an invitation to Caraval. She's a little older now and her father has arranged a marriage for her. Well, legend writes back with 3 tickets to Caraval. She gets a ticket for her, a ticket for her sister, and a ticket for a guest who is supposed to be for her upcoming fiance. Scarlet catches her little sister with a sailor doing something naughty. And of course they get in trouble for it from the father, and the sailor sees the violence of their father and this like oppressed household they live in and says, hey, I'm a sailor, I will take you to the island of Caraval, you don't even have to give me the 3rd ticket. Julian the sailor is rowing Scarlet to the island and he's rowing and he says, hey, I already took Donatella to the island, only 2 can fit in the rowboat. When they finally get to the island, Tella's missing. She's totally gone. She's nowhere to be found. They are hoping and just so sure that Donatella is inside Caraval already. She just went ahead of them, they're hoping, and they finally get to the gates of Caraval. Caraval is sort of this mystery game that happens. It's gonna happen the next day, and they go inside and it's fantastical and magical and wonderful and beautiful and highly mysterious and suspicious. We ended the section on the eve of Caraval, so right before it's gonna actually start, the official game. Donatella is still a mystery. She may have found her. I think it's a ruse. There is some romantic tension between Julian and Scarlet. There's a lot of mystery, there's a lot of things going on that we have no clue what's happening, and that's great. Let's talk about the writing a little bit. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. My first initial impression when I started this book was not great. Okay, I think it had a rocky start. And I was really starting to get bummed out about it because I've been really excited for this and this book has been calling my name for a really long time. Just from a writing standpoint, it was a shaky start. The book has like some cool imagery things that she's doing, but in the beginning I felt like it wasn't quite making it. She was trying a little hard. It felt like she was trying to create, like to really generate a good imagery, and it wasn't working for me. But that is something that got better. The first bit of it felt like a debut novel, but once they get to the island and it starts to get magic and creepy and mysterious, it's better. It's better. It's so much better. It didn't stay weak. It got better. It was just the beginning part that was making me nervous. But once Scarlet arrived at the island, it took a turn for the better. Like, it got better. So that's a yay. If you start reading this book and you don't like how it starts out, keep going because it gets better. I love her use of color in feelings. I like how she's like, Scarlet felt a burst of periwinkle when, like, in how you explain emotions with color is really cool. I like that. I don't think I've read a book where it's done so much, and it's working for me. It's working for me. I'm gonna start with my little bitty issues, and some of these are like a personal thing, and some of these are a technical thing. So there's that. I think I found a plot hole. The author makes a point about how their father will not reveal when Scarlet's actual wedding is. It's just very soon. It's sometime within the next weeks. Like, that's all she really knows. But then, as they're rowing to the island, Scarlet tells Julian, I'm getting married in a week. I thought she didn't know. I thought she just knew it was sometime soon. And suddenly it's like exactly a week I'm getting married. If I've missed that, like, let me know in the comments or something if I missed where they say she's actually getting married in a week. The Count says, hey, this is my last letter because I'm boarding a ship headed your way. But she doesn't even know where he's from. He could, I mean, that could, if he's sailing there, it could be 3 days, it could be 2 months. Like, so from a writing perspective, I get it. It adds a lot of tension and excitement when you have a strict timeline as an element of the story, and so I get that, but I feel like we needed to be told why. You can't just like change your mind. So that kind of bugged me, and I could have just missed it. Sometimes I'm kind of dumb. I could have just missed that. What else have we got? When Julian and Scarlet are rowing, apparently there's a lot with the rowing. When they're rowing to the island, the boat starts to sink. But we don't know why. Drives me crazy. There's water in the boat. She says, hey, I told you to stop splashing me with the oars. And he's like, I'm not. Oh, there's a hole in the boat right there. We're sinking. It's very obvious why the boat needed to sink. They needed to dive in the water. He needed to cut her dress off so that it's scandalous, so that you can start this romantic tension between them. Like, I get that, but I still need like an event to cause the boat to sink. You can't just have it sink. Oh, hey, the heel of your boot punctured a hole in the bottom of this rotting rowboat. Hey, I fell over and cracked a thing in the, you know, I just needed a reason for the boat to sink other than you need it for the story. I need a cause, and there wasn't one. I guess my final problem for now is, so this is a YA, it's categorized as a YA novel, okay, which is fine, but I feel like it may have been more intended to be a new adult fantasy novel and not so much a YA novel, because there is a lot of actual sexual tension between Julian and Scarlet. And there's a lot of like sexuality implied with Donatella as well, because she's promiscuous, like she just is, which is fine. Characters can be that way in a YA novel. This is just hoeing the line. This is getting close to, you're focusing on the sexual tension between Juliet and Scarlet and not the romantic tension. Those are different things. You just have to be really careful before you cross into inappropriate, because this book is targeted to minors. The characters are under 18. So, and I know, I just worry that this was written as a new adult novel and then got scaled down in editing to make it fit in the YA genre so it would be more commercial. And I hate that. If not, I kind of applaud the author a little bit for putting some sexuality in a YA novel. But young people, you just have to be careful, because I feel like it's gonna get frowned upon and it's gonna get bad sort of things said about it because of that, which I'm not saying is a reason to not do something. I'm just saying it's something to be aware that may happen. You are dealing with minors, so you just have to watch yourself a little bit. By no means am I a prude or a super conservative person. It's just something that I noticed that I wanted to touch on, just to say this is a thing that's happening. Okay, I think my dogs are gonna bark because now that my dogs have had their say, let's talk about the characters. I like Scarlet. She's a likable character. I like that she's brave for her sister. I like her as a main character, as a protag. I think she's pretty cool. Scarlet has this kind of betrayal moment where she has just so dedicated every part of her being to protecting her little sister. And she has been nothing but worried for her little sister since they arrived on the island. And she has this moment of, but my sister didn't feel that way about me. My sister is off having a good time and doesn't care about what's happened to me. She's having this realization that that Scarlet is much more dedicated to Tella, and Tella is not nearly as dedicated to Scarlet. And while she kind of knows that, she really just faces it head on in that moment. And I liked that. I liked that she had this sadness. But I also liked that she doesn't write her sister off. She doesn't say, well, I care more about you than you care about me, so why am I caring so much about you? She says, I care more for your safety than you care for mine. However, I'm not going to change my ways. I'm still going to care that much about you. I'm still going to fret over you every moment of every day. I like that about her. I really do. And some people may not, but I really do. I think it's really interesting that Scarlet refers to the dress as a magic dress until the dress changes into like a slinky nightgown. And very suddenly she starts calling the dress evil. Instead of saying the magic dress changed into a nightgown, she says the evil dress changed into a nightgown. I think it's kind of reflective of Scarlet's guilt, because Scarlet really has a lot of guilt, and that's a really interesting kind of character element to her. I've noticed it several times in her reference to things, especially when it comes to boys and sex. She's got some guilt and fear, which is to be expected when you're raised with a father like that. Tella is fun. Tella's fun. She is reckless, and she, like I said, is a bit of a wild child, and she is, you know, just sort of this romanticized ideas in her head and things like that, and she's just more fun and fancy free than her sister, which, I don't know, that's typical of a younger sibling. I have a younger sibling, and that's exactly how we are. Julian is not what Julian seems. Like, that is so apparent to me. He's not forthcoming with his information. You have to pry it out of him and things like that. And I don't know, I think he's a bit too cavalier for my taste. You know, he's cocky, he's arrogant, but he wants you to think that. Like, it's important to Julian that you think he's tough, that you think he's not able to crack, that you think he's hard when they're changing. And Scarlet sees the scars on his back and things like that. Tells you that he has a past, and I'm pretty sure it's going to come to light. Why else would you tell us he has scars? That says he's been through some stuff, and that's the reason he wants you to think that he's like so hard and tough. I don't want to just outright say my prediction as to what I think is going to evolve with Julian. I don't want that to like spoil other people if I turn out to be right, which happens a lot when I read YA. Yeah, I'm just going to say that he is not at all what he says he is, at all. I really like the character Dante. I really hope we see a ton of him. I'm worried he's gonna turn out to be a villain slash bad guy though, because the guy that I like instantly go bing towards usually turns out to be the like plot twist bad guy, so that would suck. Maybe not, because there are a lot of villains that I like strictly because they're villains. Captain Hook. I am really intrigued by Legend's special attention to Scarlet. I think that's the most intriguing factor for me. It's like, why Scarlet? And I have a prediction as to that, but I don't want to say it yet. So I'm left with a lot of questions, which is to be expected, which is what I like at this point in the book. Yes, started out rocky, but has improved so significantly that I am just engrossed. I had to like force myself to stop. And it's great, and it's magic, and it's creepy, and it's fun. There you have it. The next discussion video will be February 14th, chapters 13 through 26. Make sure you enter the giveaway. Make sure you check out Adriane's videos, and make sure you check out everybody else's videos. Use the hashtag. Thanks for listening to me ramble on and on and on. Until the next video, I'll see you guys later. Oh, I just hit myself in the face, guys. The mustache. That's my rowing motion. I think the mailman's coming, and I'm about to be notified by my killer attack dogs. We're just gonna wait. I think they're done. Excellent.